Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to install CodeIgniter 4 on Ubuntu server through, we're going to be doing this through AWS. So step one, we're going to look up CodeIgniter 4 and we're going to download the latest framework. Delete that old version. Oops. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go to our AWS account. As one of the requirements is you need to already have an account. You can create one for free at aws.amazon.com. They have a lot of cool stuff you can do on their free tier. We need EC2. Go there. Going to go to instances, and we're going to create a new instance by launching one. And here we go, Ubuntu 20.04 LTS. We're going to go ahead and just select the free tier, configure instance details, don't change anything. This is how much storage you want to allocate to your server. I'm going to do 20 gigabytes, and the maximum I believe you can do on the free tier is 30 gigabytes. So I'm going to go, we're on step 6. This is going to be our security group. I'm just going to go ahead and call this basic website security. And we're going to add HTTP and HTTPS as well. This is so people can access your website. We got MySQL/Aurora for our database. We're gonna add a custom role as well, which is port 8080, which some web browsers use. Will access your website through. So that should be good for right now. If there's anything we need to do, we can edit that later. So we're gonna go ahead and do review and launch. Make sure. Let's do my IP for now. Okay, so what you're gonna have to do here is create a Pem key, and this is gonna allow you to access your server through SSH initially. So boom, now I have my key pair. Beautiful. We're gonna launch this instance. Awesome. We're gonna go to view instances. We're gonna wait for this to launch, and I'll come back in a second. Okay, this is now running. This is beautiful. What we're going to do now is go ahead and create an elastic IP, so we have a dedicated IP for this server. So we're going to go ahead and create one. Booyah. Now let's associate this with our instance. Yeah, and I just allowed it for reassociation just in case I ever need to create a new server and want to use that same IP. Now we can get started installing our LAMP stack now that we have an Ubuntu server going. So what we have to do here now is I'm going to open up my terminal, and we are going to cd, into my downloads. And what we're going to have to do here is change the permissions for our Pem key. Amazon instructs, I believe, that we got to set the permissions to 400. So what we're going to do is chmod 400, whatever the name of your file is. Now we're going to SSH. So we SSH-I, name of your key. And then what we're going to do is Ubuntu at, and then you're going to type in your server IP there. Type yes, add that key to our known hosts. And now we are SSH'd into our EC2 server. It's beautiful. So let's go ahead and install Apache with sudo apt-get install Apache 2. Yes. So what we need to do is first we're going to update all our packages. Almost done. Now we're going to upgrade. That's finally done. We're going to do sudo apt get install Apache 2 -y. So now that we have Apache installed, what we're going to have to do is add the repository for PHP first, because it's not going to be initially on our server install. So what we're going to do now is install PHP. All right, cool. We're going to go ahead and install a few more dependencies for CodeIgniter 4. And now we're going to go ahead and start and enable Apache. Enable Apache 2. Now, if we access our web server, well, all right, so this is what it's come to. Here's my browsing data. Hallelujah. There we go. Okay. Now what we need to do is install CodeIgniter onto our server. What you're going to need to do is sftp in. I'm using CyberDuck. If you're on Windows, you can use it like PuTTY or any other SSH client. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and I'm in the www.html directory. I'm going to create a new folder just called page. What I'm going to do first is set the permissions. And you shouldn't do 777, but since we're going to be running a secure framework, it's okay. And I forgot to do sudo. There we go. So now we are going to go ahead and copy this all of it. Alrighty, now that that's done, what we're going to do is set the correct permissions for CodeIgniter. So what we got to do is sudo chown-r www and then /cage. And that's going to be whatever your project file name is. In my case, it is cage. And then we're going to do sudo chmod 777. Boom. Okay, now we have the correct permissions set. What we need to do is create a virtual host for our server. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Sudo nano / etc. Apache 2 sites available / cage. And we're creating this file. It doesn't exist already. And what you're going to go ahead and do is paste this virtual host configuration and edit it to your server information. So what you want to make sure that you set document root to your project name, so and then /public, and then replace folder name with your project directory. Make sure that all checks out. And if you already have your name servers and everything set up for a domain name, you're going to want to create your server name to your domain name. So we're going to go ahead and save this. Okay. Now let's go ahead and enable that. And reload Apache. If we reload our page, you can see we have CodeIgniter running. That's it. We got PHP and all the dependencies required for this framework installed. And you can go ahead and edit your app config from this point on would be the first thing you want to do, as well as pull up CyberDuck. So what you're going to want to do is go to your database, go to app/config, and then we have our database. So you're going to want to go ahead and install MySQL on your server, and then put in your database information accordingly. Make sure you create the database user, etc. If you want me to create a video on that, I can. May potentially do it regardless. Some people may find that pretty important with certain web applications. So thank you for watching, and I hope this helped. Please subscribe and remember to like the video. Peace.